Welcome to UAPB Currents. I'm Shelly Roby Ingram, and today we are joined by Dr. Vera Brown, who is the chair of the 21st Mary E. Benjamin Educational Access Conference, and of course, the Dr. Mary E. Benjamin, who is honorary co-chair for the Mary E. Benjamin Educational Access Conference. And also in their university capacities, Dr. Benjamin is the Vice Chancellor for Research and Development here at the university, and Dr. Vera Brown is the Associate Professor in a School of Education, Department of Curriculum and Instruction. Thank you guys for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for inviting us.
So excited for you all to come. And I'm not just saying this just because you're here, Dr. Benjamin, but the Educational Access Conference is actually one of my conferences that I enjoy going to, and when we cover the event the most. And that's not to take away from any of the other wonderful events that we have here on campus. It's just that children and the education of children is something that I myself am very passionate about, and I love the fact that you all involve the instructors and teachers from the community, the school districts from all over the state, and bring them in and try to help them, you know, make their classrooms a better place. And I applaud you for the effort for doing that.
Well, thank you. We are really excited about this conference. We've had it for 20 years, and now this is the 21st year. It's a conference that was developed out of a need to be sure that we start early, exciting our students, giving them the type of education that would really make them want to learn. And this year we are focusing on STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. But we have focused on other topics across the years. We've focused on distance learning. We've focused on partnering with the community. But this year we want to focus on science, technology, engineering, and math. And the reason is because we all know the importance of those subjects to economic advancement of areas. And we just want to make sure that our young people from pre-K actually, all of the way through college, that we are looking at innovative ways of creating excitement about the STEM areas. And I'm so excited to have Dr. Lane Brown as the chair for this year. I was chair for 20 years and felt that it was time that we have others come to the forefront. And it was such a pleasure to have the group. It wasn't just my selection. Actually, there's a standing planning committee for this conference.
Right.
And it was the unanimous consent that Dr. Lane Brown would serve as chair. So I would like to take this opportunity to really thank you, Dr. Lane Brown, for stepping up. And I'm excited about your work with the committee and the details that you will share with the audience this morning.
And surely I have some tall shoes to wear.
And she does, yes, she does actually wear tall shoes if you haven't seen Dr. Benjamin.
I'd like to take a few seconds and reflect back on the history, because I learned about the Educational Access Conference many years ago, and when I was at a previous institution, UAM. And it was really exciting for me to bring students to the conference here, really to provide them a cultural experience and for them to gain educational access on the cutting edge of issues and trends. And as I look back on the history of the Educational Access Conference, I looked at the various topics, and the Educational Access Conference was on point. Because many of the things that we have addressed in previous years are really coming to fold now. For an example, one year, Dr. Benjamin, our conference was on the new millennium and how they learn. Virtual schools.
Right.
Technology online, having courses online. And charter schools. Last year, our Educational Access Conference focused on models at work, and we featured some of the charter schools and how they contribute to our education here in the state of Arkansas. So we have had a really good background of providing educational access to all our stakeholders in the state of Arkansas, and particularly the community, meaning our public schools, parents, our local leaders, and hope that this year we have another burning topic, STEM, in which they will come out and support and learn some of the things we want them to take away and begin to think more about in terms of STEM.
Right. And I know, Dr. Benjamin, that so you got to put two of your passions together, the Educational Access Conference and STEM.
Yes.
So that's a wonderful thing for you.
Right, it really is. And as you know, the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff has a very strong STEM program. As a matter of fact, we've grown so much in that area that we've had to build a building. So we have a $10 million building that we will be able to occupy in August with the beginning of the new school year. But what we have been doing here is focusing on how do we get students better prepared for regular college admission and success. In other words, if we can reduce the need for remediation and at the same time create a cohort of students excited and well prepared to be successful. Because once we admit students to our university, our goal is to work with them to graduate and to go out and be successful and to be good citizens and help advance the society. So that's really the background of the Educational Access Conference, and it is also the background of STEM, because what we find, even to this day, we find an underrepresentation of minorities in professions such as STEM professions, and in the world of work too, in the corporate boardroom. So we at UAPB are committed to help diversify the U.S. workforce. And I don't just mean in terms of blacks, I mean in terms of blacks, in terms of Hispanic, in terms of women, in terms of persons with special disability. That's what our mission is all about, and we are outright committed to that. So to be able to bring the two together at this point in time, I think is appropriate.
Yes.
I think it's timely. And I think the people that come out and take advantage of this well-planned conference will have some very good information to take back to their workplaces and to make a difference in terms of the way that they are presenting information to this new millennium, to this new generation of students.
All right. Excellent. We're going to go to break, and when we come back then we're going to take an opportunity and find out what workshops and things you guys are going to be offering, and we're excited to find out, right?
Okay. Thank you.
All right, we'll be right back on UAPB Currents.
You don't need health insurance if you have enough good luck charms. Not always lucky? Then you need health insurance. Find affordable, quality health plans at the Health Insurance Marketplace. Enroll now at the Health Insurance Marketplace at healthcare.gov.
Bring this sweet.
Welcome back to UAPB Currents, and we are joined today by the chair and co-chair for the 21st Mary E. Benjamin Educational Access Conference, Dr. Vera Lang Brown, and of course Dr. Mary E. Benjamin. And we had an opportunity to talk a little bit about the history of the Mary E. Benjamin Educational Access Conference and how you guys came about deciding on having a STEM theme for this year's conference. And so now let's talk a little bit about the workshops that are going to be offered, and I guess how you guys went about deciding what workshops and activities that you would offer in this wide, vast area of STEM.
Well, I like to begin that discussion talking about some of the features. We took things a little in a different approach, slightly a different approach this year. We had a committee who wanted to do a call for papers and posters.
Okay.
And they got together and they put all their information, and we sent it out to superintendents, principals, businesses, teachers, the community, our stakeholders as a whole, to get feedback on some of the things that they're doing to support and promote STEM in their public school, or even in their business, or even with the partnerships between a business and public school setting. And from that wave of communication, we received about 15 proposals or abstracts, sharing with us some of the information that they would like to present in terms of a workshop or a poster during our Educational Access Conference. So that was pretty new for us this year. In the past, we've kind of selected key people who were movers and shakers in the community, in the state, and even sometimes outside the state, and invite them in to conduct workshops. Again, that was a key movement for us, and we are trying that this year, and so far it's working. Another access piece that we are trying, we thought about our superintendents and principals, how they have come through the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, AM&N, UAPB, and we wanted to invite some of our administrators back, active and retired, to recognize them for the work that they're doing with STEM, and even with teachers and students in their public school setting. So that's another piece that's new this year for us. And so from that movement, then we're going to, I guess, began to talk about workshops, what workshops we will have.
Right.
Now, in terms of workshops, we have 15 workshops, and we have a variety of presenters who are going to be.
15?
We have 15.
Now, is that a usual number of?
That's a little larger that we've normally had, but it's the result of the call for papers and the variety and the excitement that were generated by the proposals that came in. But I would also point out very quickly that we also have maintained bringing in a national figure. And so that's Dr. Moss.
Dr. Moss.
Dr. Moss is coming in, and she is an expert on STEM education in the public school system. As a matter of fact, we are partnering with the Arkansas STEM Coalition, and they already had her in the state, and she was so well received that they wanted to bring her back so a larger audience could take advantage of the techniques that have proven so successful for her. So she's going to be here, and then we're going to have a former educator who is now a legislator be a part of this process.
Absolutely.
And so Senator Chesterfield, Linda Chesterfield, will be our luncheon speaker. So what we've done, we've maintained the core components of the first 20 conferences. And at the 21st year, we thought we could try something a little innovative. And this is a part of that innovation. And let me tell you one thing I like about it. I haven't told Dr. Lane Brown this. But what I like about it is we not only are honoring superintendents and principals who graduated from this outstanding university, but we also have our emerging teachers. The student teachers are also on program. So I call that spanning the generation. Passing the baton, celebrating the success of this university in producing teachers and community leaders who have gone out and made such a difference in their community.
Right.
So we're really excited about this, and we really want the public to come out and join us and take advantage of this very excellent educational opportunity.
Right, and we've been so busy talking about all the content of the conference that we failed to give you all the date for that conference, and it is April 23rd from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
To 5 o'clock.
5 p.m. Because we have so much space to fill. Absolutely, of course, we could probably stay there all night. And you guys can contact the number and email information at the bottom of the screen to be able to register and find out more information about being a part of that conference.
Could I just mention
Yes,
one other
ma'am.
thing about the conference? The conference has been integrated with Founders Week.
Right,
Yeah,
absolutely.
we just have a week of
That's a
enriching
new
activities
too, right.
at the university. So we've got the Founders activities, we have the Educational Access Conference, we have the Investiture. So it's going to be a week for the community just to mark out that week for the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff and
Right.
come out and join us in a series of well-planned educational and memorable activities.
Right, and that's serving as somewhat of a kickoff to the week
It
of
is.
founders.
Yes, it is.
Right.
I just wanted to mention just a little bit about the workshops.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Some of the workshops will be centered around preparing teachers and pre-service teachers to develop STEM strategies, discussion on how do we integrate STEM now with art. That's one of Michelle
that's right.
Obama's initiative. And we have 2 professors who would demonstrate the use of clickers in their classroom, along with the impact of teaching undergraduate students how to do research. So our workshops will really have some fantastic topics.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
What's up? This is Swiss Beats. Do you know that 1,000 people ages 13 to 24 are infected with HIV every month in the U.S.? As African Americans, HIV hits us harder than any other racial group. We account for over 44% of all new HIV infections in the U.S. You can't tell by looking at somebody if they're infected. Do you know your status? Visit Act Against AIDS to find out where you can get tested for free.
Welcome back to UAPB Currents, and again we're here today to talk about the 21st Mary E. Benjamin Educational Access Conference, and we're joined by our new chair, Dr. Vera Lang Brown, and of course Dr. Mary E. Benjamin. Before we left for break, we were talking about the workshops, and it was something that Dr. Benjamin brought up while we were, chatting between segments, that the way that you guys come up with some of the things that you're going to talk about and the evaluation process that you guys really kind of key in on. So if you'd like to speak to that.
Almost at the end of each workshop, we have an evaluation because we want to know how well the workshops were perceived by the audience.
Absolutely.
It's the same thing for our keynote speakers. And then at the end, we take that information and we have someone who would put it into a data form and provide it to us so that we can see how the audience rated the presentations and whether or not this is something that we might want to do again. And then at the end of the year, at the end of the semester, I think maybe the first part of the summer, the committee will come back together and we will review that information and then we'll reflect. What did we do well? What do we want to change? And how do we want to proceed the next Educational Access Conference? And so we take all that information into consideration and then we began to think and plan and identify a theme for the next semester, next year.
Right.
You know, Dr. Lang Brown, also this year, based on feedback, we are able to give credit. We've been approved to give credit through the State Department. Could
Absolutely.
you speak to that?
Yes, yes. One of the things that we want our audience, particularly our teachers and administrators or any other agencies who attend our workshop, I know a lot of times professional development is needed throughout professions. And so Arkansas Department of Education has already approved our workshops, our conference, and so therefore our participants who attend can receive professional development hours that they can submit to the state.
So. That's really a wonderful addition.
It is. It's excellent because I know that it's something that you know, that the teachers are required to maintain is their professional development hours, and so it gives them more of a reason and opportunity to be able to come and attend the conference. And the information, like Dr. Lang Brown was saying earlier, is always so cutting edge that it gives them an opportunity to learn something. Because I'm excited about, I'm gonna go ahead, Randy, and say right now that I'm taping the STEM arts workshop. That one's mine. I'm looking forward to hearing about that one.
That's great.
Dr. Lang Brown, I wanted to ask you, as we look forward to the future of the Mary E. Benjamin Educational Access Conference, did you, in your first year in capacity as chair, get an opportunity to do everything that you wanted this year? And how has planning it, what kind of light bulbs went off for dreams for what's to come?
A lot of light bulbs went off. But as a new leader, one of the things that I have learned that you don't go in and change everything all at once. You assess what has been done, and being a part of the educational access before, I had some inside idea on how we go about planning things. But then at the same time, I also thought about, well, allowing the committee to have a little more input on how they would like to see things done. And that's really what brought on the inviting speakers from outside to come in, the papers, the posters, the superintendents, the principals. So even though we've had that piece already, but we took it to another level. So I can say that some of the things that I wanted to see happen are happening, and I know that I couldn't bring in too many things because of other commitments. Okay. But at the same time, I'm pleased with how educational access is going for the 21st annual year.
Okay. All right. And Dr. Benjamin, this is your baby, and you've seen it grow up to 21. And so what are your, just stars in the sky dreams for the future of this conference?
You know, when you use the number 21, it brought to my mind maturity.
Okay.
Right.
You know, you're grown. And I think that this means that this conference is a part of the university's official calendar.
Absolutely.
So certainly my dream for the future is that it will stay in a prominent role at the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. And before I tell you my dreams, I want to compliment Dr. Lane Brown and her co-chair, Ms. Georgette Wiley,
Yes.
along with the committee.
Absolutely.
Together they have put together an outstanding program. So I feel good watching the grown children. They are now grown and running the conference, and they are doing a fantastic job.
Thank you.
It's kind of like the parent moving
Right.
back, getting in the back seat,
Okay.
and letting the next generation
Absolutely.
take the car, take the conference,
Right.
and take it forward.
Absolutely.
In terms of where I would like to see it go, in addition to being a standard part of the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff calendar, I would like to see this conference go national.
Oh.
I would like to see the call for papers actually get out very early in national journals and publications. Also, we talked about it yesterday in the planning meeting. I would like to see the conference generate a publication
Oh, okay.
to capture, because this is state-of-the-art information.
Absolutely, it
Some
is.
of it is new information that really needs to be put out to a larger audience. And this is a way of really capturing for years to come the information that we are generating here at the university.
Yeah.
So that's my dream, and my dream is to always have the kind of faculty and staff that will be able to come together on an interdisciplinary basis and plan a conference like the annual Educational Access Conference.
Right.
My dream.
I think that that is a great dream and an admirable one, and I think that that publication would definitely be of service to.
I think so.
I think
Yeah,
so.
absolutely. All right, so we're done. Again, the 21st Mary E. Benjamin Educational Access Conference is April 23rd from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Pine Bluff Convention Center, or is it here on
Here on
campus? It
campus.
is here on
I
campus.
have
be up there.
physical education.
And it's here
Conference.
at the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff at the Kenneth L. Johnson Hyper Arena. All right. And if you, again, would like to find out more information or register, then you can contact the number or email at the bottom of the screen. And we thank you again
Thank you.
for coming and telling us about the conference. And we look forward to seeing you guys on the 23rd.
Okay.
Thank you
Okay,
so
thank you
much.
so much.
And
Thank
we
you.
will see you at the Educational Access
Right.
Conference on the 23rd, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. here at the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, and next time on UAPB Currents.